Hi, this is Phoenix. It's hard to believe that I came out with my poetry book Torque about a year ago, last November of 2016. Coming out with this book was monumental for me because I consider it to be one of my most in-depth books. Um, I see the book as kind of having its own narrative, even though it is composed of poems and typographical tricks. What I mean by narrative is the idea that the whole arc of the book tells an interesting story, even if that story is merely one of rebellion and intellectual, I would say, intellectual combat, so to speak. Um, and I like the idea of the narrative, the overall narrative of this book, which is pushing against elitism, um, against the vanguard, against intellectual snobbery. And I like the book for dealing with those themes. I think the book has a lot of interesting poems, in that the poems are doing some interesting things with rhythm, as well as the words that I use and the concepts, and I find all of that to be pretty cool. I would say that some of my favorite poems in the book include The Binary, which includes two poems, Nah and Yeah. I also really like Psychot. I like Insist and Overload. I like Glitch. And I like Shade, among many others. Really, the book was supposed to be kind of a catharsis for me. It was meant to be a kind of creative exploration of what you can do with words and what you can do with writing. And not all of the poems are my favorite, but it wasn't necessarily a matter of picking my favorite poems. It wasn't picking my favorite poems and a perfectionism. It was more exploring a concept and seeing where you can go with it. And I feel like I accomplished that. I feel like the poems are really rigorous in different ways, and I feel like they're also very emotional, even though the book itself is not necessarily supposed to be emotional, because it's actually playing on the tension between emotion and cerebral expressions. So I'm definitely thinking about the intellect as well. But I think that what's interesting about this collection is that the emotions are still important to how you read the poems. That might be because this book is also a reaction to slam poetry, and slam poetry is kind of one of the biggest fads of manipulating emotions that there is today. And I find that to be interesting. One of my favorite things to do in this book is to have kind of like skewed pages or blank pages. So I have a page where it's literally just a whole bunch of letters for a little bit, and you're not really sure why it's there. I also have blank pages in the book. Um, and yeah, so this is my book Torque, which you can find at my author page at amazon.com/author/phoenix, amazon.com/author/phoenix_rises. And I hope that you'll check the book out, and um, I hope that you find something with this book. Certainly for me, the book was an act of rebellion. It was an act of seeing what I could get away with creatively, and I feel like I succeeded, and I hope that you'll share that journey. This is Phoenix, and thank you.